All right, part 3 and the last part of my Q&A video is coming up, so let's get this going. This question is by Robert Burkhart, and he says, were there any 60-plus thru-hikers out there? And is it worth carrying a heavier pack? Robert, yes. I saw a handful of hikers that were 60-plus thru-hikers. And it's totally doable at any age, from 5 to 85, and in my opinion. You know, I had one of the heavier packs, completely empty. My pack with the brain was 4.4 pounds and 5 ounces. It's not about the initial weight. It's about how comfortable it is on your back and how the weight is transferred. I'm a sea kayaker, okay? And I kind of relate it to a sea kayak. Now, a sea kayak has 2 forms of stability. You have the initial stability, and then you have secondary stability. Now, your initial stability is how stable it is when you first get in. You know, is it tippy? The second is how stable is this kayak when you're in it and you're managing the waves. How does it react? How stable is it? That's how I would explain the Osprey Atmos AG65. When you first pick it up off the ground and you first start to put it on your back, you're thinking, man, this is heavy. But then as soon as you get it on and you get it all buckled in and strapped in and everything cinched up, you can't even feel it almost. I mean, there were so many times I would stop for a break, I wouldn't even take my pack off because it was so comfortable. I didn't want to mess it up. So it doesn't matter how old you are. If a heavier pack means more comfortable for you, do it. All right, next question is, I chose boots over trail runners. Let's see. Nope, that's not a question, I'm sorry. The next one is, what was the toll on my knees and joints? Did I do any stretches, rub downs of my legs, exercises regular before my thru hike or every morning before my hike? This is by Jim B. You know, my knees and joints are great. And I wore a knee sleeve on my left knee because that was the knee when I started. Before I even started, I could tell, you know what, if I'm going to have any trouble with my knees, it's going to be my left knee. And so I wore that knee sleeve by Ace every day, and I never had any issues with my knees, my joints, everything. I took care of my body. I didn't push it. I didn't put undue stress on my body. So that helped right there. During the day, 3 or 4, sometimes 5 times a day, I would kind of feel a little bit of tightness in my legs. And so I would stop and I would take my trekking pole and I would just kind of roll it out. And boy, did it help. Exercise before a thru hike, I really didn't do much. You know, I did shakedown hikes, I did some walks and some smaller day hikes, but I really didn't have a big strenuous exercise routine. And I still was a successful thru hiker. All right, let's see, next question. Why did you say, we'll see you down trail? Was there a story behind it? Answer is, you know, there is no story behind it. I just started saying it sort of early on. I want to say maybe Tennessee. It was kind of like my little catchphrase, I guess. I don't know. But no, there wasn't really any story behind it. And this is by Lisa Stapleton. And Lisa kind of was saying, well, technically, you're a Nobo, so you're going up trail, not down trail. Yeah, that's true. But for me, and for people that you're with, you say, all right, we'll see you down there. We'll see you down there. It was never, we'll see you up there. So that's why I would say it. When did you meet Trail Angels, Iceman, and Aaron? Well, I first met Iceman by the Trout Run parking lot in Pennsylvania, right around mile mark 1184. And he was helping the Kentucky crew out with some trail magic. We then saw him again in Pennsylvania, again in Vermont, in New Hampshire and in Maine. Amazing, Iceman. The first time I saw Aaron was at Grafton Notch State Park parking lot in Maine. And then we saw him again in Rangeley, again at Long Falls Dam Road, and then at Shaw's, and then at A-Ball Bridge, and then he picked us up at the Roaring Brook Campground. So Aaron was our main angel. Is there a void after you return home? This is from my buddy Manistee Rocks. And I'm sorry, that last question about the trail angels was from Elizabeth Carlson. So thank you, Elizabeth. All right, so going back, was there a void after my return home? Great question from my buddy Manistee Rocks. In a way, yes. You know, as much as I missed my family, I also truly missed trail life and the people that was around me on trail. It's such an amazing thing, and a lot of people that haven't thru-hiked it, they just don't understand it. But I still think about the trail every day, several times a day. When I lay down at night, sometimes I'm almost thinking I'm in my tent. So yeah, it's tough. There is a little bit of trail depression, I guess. But I'm so happy to be home with my family and my wife. And although I miss Chit Chat and Dinner Bell and some of the trail angels out there, and you know, it is good to be home. You know, gear that made it from the beginning to the end. This is from Edward. This is kind of a tough question because, you know, you have winter gear and summer gear and you're switching them back and forth. You know, my pack made it from the beginning to the end, even though I did switch it out for the summer a little bit. My tent made it from Newfound Gap all the way to the end. Same thing with my sleeping pad, made it from Fontana Dam all the way to Katahdin. You know, my rain gear, my poles, even though I did change boots because they would wear out, I never changed the style or the maker or brand of them. You know, my ball cap made it to the end, my stove and pot, my t-shirts, my underwear, my pillow, my pack cover, my sleeping bag liner, all my electronics, they all made it from the start to finish. All right, what have you taken away from the trail now that you're done from Project YOLO? You know, I believe in the good of people. That's what I take away from it, especially during tough times. You know, after working for almost 30 years for the Department of Corrections, you kind of see the worst of human beings. But it was the people that you know, your fellow corrections officers and your fellow corrections staff that was around you, that was your, you know, your work family that you relied so much on to have your back, that made it better, you know. And on the trail, the people that you're around, you're all suffering, you're all going through the same stuff, you know, so you just have this bond. And then even during tough times, you know, like COVID and everything, these trail angels that would come out, they started to come out in Pennsylvania. You know, God bless the state of Pennsylvania. You guys had just amazing trail angels. These, even during COVID, these trail angels came out because they knew we had nothing, and they came out and they helped us. And wow, that's what I've taken away, that, you know what, in tough times, the best of people come out. All right. Did you see or hear Bigfoot? And will I return to visit some trail towns? No, I did not see Bigfoot. Although I did see a lot of hairy, smelly hikers that originally thought that it may be Bigfoot until I actually saw them. Will I be returning to some of the AT trail towns? No question about it. No doubt about it. Did you wear winter gloves? Because on your gear review, you did not mention this. This is by Mary Kay. Yes, you're right. I totally forgot about it. I did wear, just by REI, their REI fleece gloves. Outstanding product. They kept my fingers nice and toasty warm. And then I also wore, when it was kind of sleety or snowy or rainy, I would wear the REI Gore-Tex Gore-Tex rain mitts. They were like mittens, super lightweight. They weighed nothing. And I would just put them over my gloves. And man, that combination right there kept my hands dry and warm in the winter months. All right. Let's see. Next question is, was there ever, let's see. Nope, that's not the right question. All right. The last question, actually. You ready for this? The last question. Will you keep the weight off? Will you put some back on? This is by David C. As you can tell, I've already put, you know, a good 15 pounds back on. And I did that intentionally. I did not feel comfortable at the weight that I was. I wanted to, you know, put a little meat on my bone, so to speak. But I do want to stay in shape. It's tough. You know, I'm doing a lot of projects around the house, and I am starting to work a lot more part-time. So it's tough to get a regular exercise regime going, and then here comes the colder weather. So I'm just going to do my best to eat a little better. And we just bought a treadmill, so I'm going to be working out on that treadmill. And I started a hiking club in my local county here on Facebook. And so we're going to be going, and we already have gone on several weekly hikes right here in our county. So just little ways I'm going to kind of work on to keep the weight off, because, you know, I lost 54 pounds total. And it took a lot of work and to lose that much weight, so I'd hate to put it all back on. So, all right, thanks so much for all your questions. I hope this helps answer some of your questions out there, and especially if any of you guys that are thinking about hiking in 2021 and 2022. Videos coming up. I got some fun videos coming up. I'm going to do a video that's all about hostels, hotels, and campgrounds that I stayed in on the Appalachian Trail. And I'm going to rate them, okay? Now, you notice on my videos, I would give them a camper rating. So I'm going to rank them best to worst in each category that I stayed in. Now, I'm not going to talk much about a hostel or a hotel that I didn't stay in. Just the ones that I did stay in. So that'll be fun to do. And then I will do probably one more video after that. And so we'll see. Might be a grab bag video. So I hope everybody's doing well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your questions. And we'll see you guys down trail. Bunkhouse, probably a dozen. Here's the kitchen and the laundry over here. Hey, you guys mind if I video real quick in here? In here's the little kitchen and laundry. Runaways, hey, hey. You can cook a pizza. Aha. There's Kurt, trail name, tell everybody now. Ricochet! Ricochet. You guys all know Screwball. He is such a screwball. Plus, all my gear was wet. So it was nice to have enough space to... Hey! Help! Well, that was so cool. I just saw Candy Mama from the Dower Duel. All right, breakfast time at Station 19. Pancakes, scrambled eggs, corned beef hash, sausage gravy with biscuits, all you can eat.
Yummy!
$10 each. Are you kidding me? This is awesome.
Gatorade.
Gatorade. All right, this was the room we stayed in last night. Nice large room. All right, tell everybody your YouTube channel.
Jess's Adventures.
Let me give you a little tour of my home and my business. This back right here is 5-star seating for hikers and 3-star bed for myself and I. This right here is my captain chair and my everyday sitter. Oh man, now I gotta get my butt wet again. Get it wet.
Right there? I tried most of that.
Yeah, it's not all in it.
Come on, boy. And there's our alarm clock again. Right on time.
So first you gotta take this tortilla, and then your buffalo style chicken, and then lots and lots of nacho cheese, which I'm gonna even add more. Wow. And then chili cheese, Fritos on top, and that is the best sandwich out here.
Oh no! And then, of course, it changed because McAfee is just like
we are waiting because a couple of the hikers have climbed this mountain and they are gonna shoot off some fireworks. So this is the town of Palmerton down there. I don't know if I'll be ever visiting that town again in my life. It's not fair on the town, to be honest with you, but. Yeah, that was an unusual experience. But check out the sports field. That's a pretty nice high school.
Oh, wow. Oh yeah, up there in the back.
High school in the back there. It's right across the street from the cemetery. I don't know about that. But literally goes right along this ledge. And it goes right off this ledge.
I'm gonna calm down.
All right, just got out of the forest and we're in the outskirts of Dalton, Massachusetts.
Signs of the Appalachian Trail. Someday I'm going to do it. Someday I'm going to do it. Well, I moved to Florida for 25 years. Well, we forgot about it.
Right.
Loving this. We're just stopped on the way to town so they could show us what our climb is going to be today. I'm looking for that Mount Washington sign, and I'm not looking at anything else, folks. We are in the belly of the beast, and we got to climb up out of there. Let's see how this works out.
Not done. That was by far the best time.
I definitely like the big ones better than
Going down the
across the Kennebec River. Woohoo, Chugel, you're doing good. Alright, just to kind of show you my camp spot here.